is 6 p.m. Time for CBX Business News. The Business News headlines is brought to you by CBX Wealth Management, making more possible.
Creative economy blueprint, call center jobs at risk, and a $23 billion tech deal. Good evening and welcome to CBX Business News for Tuesday, August 26, 2025. I am Rochelle Moncrief. Thanks for joining us. Coming up in the newscast, locally, the Jamaica Labour Party unveils a bold blueprint to supercharge the island's creative economy. And on the regional front, U.S. legislation threatens Caribbean call center jobs, sparking an urgent push for diversification. And over on the global stage, AT&T strikes at $23 billion deal for EchoStar Spectrum, expanding its wireless network reach. Stay tuned as we unpack these stories and more right after the break.
Me grew up and see my granny save her money under her mattress.
Exactly.
Okay.
Your grandmother house never burned down?
No, how you reach this, so? That was a one-off thing.
That could have happened to anybody. That's why you must put your money in a financial institution and protect it.
What if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in.
What you mean?
JDIC is a financial safety net which provides coverage for your money in case your financial institution fails.
Explain that to me.
Alright, because of the JDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you put your money into a financial institution like a bank or building society, you can get coverage of up to a maximum of $1.2 million per deposit of your financial institution if it should fail. And for even more information, you can visit their new website at www.jdic.org, and you can follow the social media platforms for the latest information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Wealth is not simply counted in dollars or cents, but in the time we spend with love, in love, giving love. Wealth is not simply a means to an end. It is the means to live out loud. Wealth is more than money. It's about family, the memories you create, the legacy you leave behind, and your ability to enjoy life in the moment. It's also about seeing the QMAX possibilities and seizing investment opportunities to achieve the future you want and deserve. Which is why QMAX Wealth will focus on your investments so you can experience more. Because true wealth is truly more. To start investing today, call 876-926-7767.
Serious about building Jamaica? Build with solid PVC pipes and conduits, manufactured in Jamaica by Phosphate, made to the highest standard. Solid PVC pipes and conduits are made in Jamaica by Jamaicans for Jamaicans. Available at hardware stores across the island. Take some solid advice, support our economy, and build well. Buy solid PVC pipes. Next time, ask for solid brand PVC pipes and conduits. Call our distributors or Phosphate at 876-937-5099.
Hi, I'm Nielsen Rose, host of Let's Talk Stocks, reminding you that health is indeed wealth and time is really money. Why not spend a little time with us? Weekday mornings, 9 to 9:30 a.m. for your daily dose of
here to open a savings account for my son John. I really want him to start saving and managing his own money.
And I need for Save to visit my father in New York.
Okay, based on what you said and our risk assessment, he will qualify for simplified customer due diligence requirements. I'll need your ID, proof of income, TRN, and John's ID as well.
Okay, here you go.
Opening an account is easier than you think using simplified customer due diligence requirements, also called CDD.
Hi, I'm Nielsen Rose, host of Let's Talk Stocks, reminding you that health is indeed wealth and time is really money. Why not spend a little time with us? Weekday mornings, 9 to 9:30 a.m. for your daily dose of business, economic, and investment insights.
The local news is brought to you by Derriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean flavors and fragrances, tease the senses. And Pulse Investments.
Welcome back to CBX Business News. We begin with updates for Jamaica's creative industry. Beyond manufacturing, logistics, and tourism, the Jamaica Labour Party JLP is turning the spotlight on the island's creative sector as a driver of economic growth. In its 2025 manifesto, The Next Chapter, the party pledges to bring artists and cultural entrepreneurs more firmly into the formal economy. Speaking at the launch at Sam Sharp Square in St. James on Sunday, Member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern, Tova Hamilton, says the proposals go far beyond a symbolic recognition of the arts, aiming instead to remove the red tape that has long hindered Jamaica's creative sector.
Them fool you. We are serious about removing the chains on the creative sector, and that is why in our manifesto we are not just promising, we are planning, we are delivering, we are building a creative economy that every young Jamaican can plug into. It is why we will launch one-stop online entertainment permit access, a game changer for the industry, a one-stop shop. Here are some of the other initiatives our manifesto will bring to life. Free basic intellectual property advice for creatives, performing arts centers, a brand new JCDC HQ, and Jamaica's first dance hall museum and training center.
She also announced plans for the establishment of a 24-hour entertainment zone.
Special economic zones for creatives. 100 creative villages across 100 sites. A Culture and Creative Practitioners Institute. Creative apprenticeships with mentors, incubators, and rocket accelerators to launch talent into the world. Strengthening of film and media by building on our already launched $1 billion film fund, expanding it even further. 24-hour entertainment zones, a reality, not just talk. Never again will a promoter be told that they should be prosecuted for plying their trade.
That was Member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern, Tova Hamilton. Workers across Jamaica could see a significant shift in labor and income policy if the People's National Party, PNP, takes office after the September 3 general election, following promises laid out on the campaign trail. Speaking during a PNP mass rally in Mandeville on Sunday, opposition leader and party president Mark Golding announced plans to end what he describes as the abuse of the contract work system. The pledge would see workers on rolling short-term contracts formally recognized as full employees with access to statutory entitlements.
And for the workers of this country, for too long, some employers have been abusing the contract work system. Have you I kind of puppet on a string where you're on short-term contracts being renewed and you don't get the benefits that the law of Jamaica intends for you to have? We are going to put an end to that. There will be no more abuse of the contract work system. You will be properly recognized as employees with the full range of rights and benefits that you are supposed to have under the employment law of Jamaica.
In a further bid to ease cost of living pressures, the PNP says overtime pay will be made tax-free for workers earning up to $6 million annually.
And if you are employed in the public sector or the private sector, and you're earning up to $6 million a year, and you earn overtime pay, the next PNP government is going to make your overtime pay tax-free. You will have more money in your pocket on payday under the PNP.
The party also promised targeted relief for the country's hospitality sector.
And for our hotel workers and other workers in hospitality who rely on tips and gratuity for a portion of their income, we are going to implement the promise we made months ago. Once we form government, your tips and your gratuity will no longer be taxed. You will get that money in your pocket without deduction of tax. The PNP is looking after the interests of the hotel workers and hospitality workers.
That was opposition leader and PNP president Mark Golding. In other news, First Regional Cooperative Credit Union has achieved a record income of $1.186 billion and a net surplus of $212 million for 2024. Speaking at the company's annual general meeting on the weekend, First Regional's president Pearline Bailey says this achievement marks the union's strongest financial performance to date.
Throughout the year 2024, First Regional Cooperative Credit Union had some very solid performances. We achieved total assets of $12.48 billion, exceeding 2023 total assets by 12.69%. We achieved a net surplus of $212 million, marking 3 consecutive years of achieving surplus in excess of $200 million. We had an income of $1.186 billion, which is the highest earned total income in the history of our operations.
She also reported that the company's capital base ratio stood at 13.35% in 2024, a slight decline from 14.72% in 2023.
Our capital base ratio is 13.35%, which is indicative of a slight decrease of less than 1% when compared to 14.17% recorded in 2023.
That was President of First Regional Cooperative Credit Union, Pearline Bailey. And now for news from the Bank of Jamaica on how the currency markets traded today. In Tuesday's trading session, the US dollar is selling for $160.99, the Canadian dollar for $117.01, the pound sterling for $217.10, while $188.88 is the going rate for the euro. And now for news from the JSE on how the local equities markets traded today. In Tuesday's trading session, the JSE market activity resulted in the trading of 110 stocks, of which 43 advanced, 39 declined, and 28 traded firm. Today's winners are R.A. Williams Distributors, Productive Business Solution USD Ordinary Shares, Margaritaville Turks, and Guardian Holdings, while leading the losers are Express Catering, Consolidated Bakeries Jamaica, 138 Student Living Jamaica Variable Preference, and MFS Capital Partners. The main index advanced by 1,524.60 points or 0.49% to close at 315,293.88 points. The junior market index, however, declined, but by 52.88 points or 1.56% to close at 3,346.03 points.
And it's time for Market Education Feature, brought to you by CariCris, Regional Ratings, Global Standard.
In continuation with our election education series, today we will be taking a look at the Electoral Office of Jamaica. The Electoral Office of Jamaica, or EOJ, is the administrative arm of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Its job is to make sure elections are free, fair, and transparent. The EOJ manages the voters list, issues voter ID cards, and conducts both parliamentary and local government elections. It also runs voter education campaigns and monitors compliance with electoral laws. During elections, the EOJ works with the Commission to oversee polling and even invites international observers to help guarantee fairness and integrity.
The Market Education Feature was brought to you by CariCris, Regional Ratings, Global Standards.
And that's it for the local news segment. Please stay with us. The regional news is up next.
The local news is brought to you by Derriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, tease the senses. And Pulse Investments.
Let's all get fit. This summer set drip. Hip dips and split. Power in the mind, let's get healthy with it. Sometimes your body's so hard, but your body wants it. And then your head is so home, and it's so like this. So we gotta go 1, 2, 3. One more now. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. One more now. 1, 2, 3. One more now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Are so much book you need for high school?
I'll show you how to make sure you have all the money for my books and even some extra. It's called budgeting, Dad. Making a budget is the most important thing you can do to track your money. It keeps a record of how much you make, how much you spend, where you spend it, and most importantly, how much you can save. Write down all your income, write down all your expenses, see where you can cut down and allot more money to more important things, like saving.
Mikey, is what sweet you saw?
Yeah, dear babes. Where's the catty? You and your party tonight?
Party? You secure your future yet? Careless.
you know that over time the stock market has provided a reliably high return on investments? Be sure to contact a licensed stockbroker for more information on this exciting investment opportunity.
Taking care of business, Mikey?
Yeah, Cathy. I'm securing my future. Want to come look over my stock portfolio?
The Jamaica Stock Exchange, providing a fair, efficient, and transparent stock market.
Fesco started from 5 shareholders who believed that they could execute a fuel company as good as or as better than any multinational. The director shareholders always believe that the dealers within our network should be owners of the company. They believe that staff should be owners of the company. And specifically, I also believe that the public should become shareholders. That cannot be facilitated by a bank loan. Our experience so far has translated into additional customers. Our transparency has allowed us to access credit easier and at better rates. So if you're a private company thinking about growing your profits, having better access to capital, I really think you should consider listing on the junior or the main market. Go ahead, have that conversation as soon as possible. We did it and we're very happy.
Gardening coming along well.
Thanks, man. You know, it's a long time I've been working at it.
I can see that. I saw your mail by the gate, so I picked it up for you. But tell me something. Why are you still receiving dividend checks by mail?
What do you mean about that?
You need to give JCSD a mandate.
You know, me hear about the mandate them. I'm going over there right now.
A mandate means giving instructions to the Jamaica Central Securities Depository Limited, JCSD, relating to the handling of your dividend or interest payment. There are 3 types of mandates. The first is a bank mandate. The second is a hold mandate. Lastly, we have what we call a third-party mandate, with which the investor may wish to send their dividend or interest to someone other than the parties on their account or institution of their choice.
Hi, I'm Nielsen Rose, host of Let's Talk Stocks, reminding you that health is indeed wealth and time is really money. Why not spend a little time with us? Weekday mornings, 9 to 9:30 a.m. for your daily dose of business, economic, and investment insights.
We get it! We get the big contract! 50,000 units a month for 3 years! Great! Won't need help.
If you are a business owner that requires capital for the expansion of your business, talk to a registered broker today to find out more about listing your company on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, an efficient alternative to other financing options.
Thank God for the Jamaica Stock Exchange Junior Market.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange, providing a fair, efficient, and transparent stock market.
If it were not for the Jamaica Stock Exchange listing, Phosphate Company Limited would not be where it's at today. I called them, they listened to my concerns and my fears, and they gave me the answers. All the fears I had about banks, about losing control, you are having them. And I tell you, they were dissipated when I spoke to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This is one of the best decisions I have ever made in business. If you want to change the trajectory of your business and to grow, make that call today to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. You will be glad you did.
Let's all get fit. Fitness, some must drip. Hip dips and split. Power in the mind, let's get healthy with it. Sometimes your body's so hard, but your body wants it. And then your head is so home, and it's so like this. So we gotta go 1, 2, 3. One more now. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. One more now. 1, 2, 3. One more now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Introducing the Corporate Services Unit, your go-to experts for corporate secretarial solutions. We offer statutory compliance, efficient minute taking, registered office address services, management of board and members meetings, setup and maintenance of corporate registers. Stay ahead with our proactive approach to new regulations. We operate under the Trust and Corporate Service Provider, licensed to the JCSD Trustee Services Limited. We're here to simplify your corporate journey, no matter the size of your company. Contact the Corporate Service Unit today and let's streamline your compliance journey together, because your success is our business.
So much book you need for high school?
I'll show you how to make sure you have all the money for my books and even some extra. It's called budgeting, Dad. Making a budget is the most important thing you can do to track your money. It keeps a record of how much you make, how much you spend, where you spend it, and most importantly, how much you can save. Write down all your income, write down all your expenses, see where you can cut down and allot more money to more important things, like saving.
It's feeling so good right now. Feeling so good right now. Yeah, yeah. It's feeling so good right now. Feeling so good right now. Yeah, yeah. It's feeling so good right now. Don't never ever wanna calm down. Oh, no, yeah.
Hi, I'm Nielsen Rose, host of Let's Talk Stocks, reminding you that health is indeed wealth and time is really money. Why not spend a little time with us? Weekday mornings, 9 to 9:30 a.m. for your daily dose of business, economic, and investment insights.
Welcome back. And now for the regional business news. Caribbean economies that depend on business process outsourcing BPO are bracing for fallout as Washington debates new legislation that could reshape the call center industry. The Keep Call Centers in America Act of 2025, introduced by U.S. lawmakers Kristen McDonald-Rivay and Brian Fitzpatrick, seeks to discourage outsourcing by penalizing American firms that move call center jobs overseas. Companies that do so would be barred from federal grants and loans and added to a public list of offshore employers. Trade expert of Manchester Trade Limited Incorporated, Dr. David Lewis, warns that the measure poses serious risk to Caribbean and Latin American economies where BPO is a vital employer and foreign exchange earner. Barbados, Belize, Jamaica, and other nearshore destinations have built competitive industries serving U.S. firms. But with the proposed law requiring offshore agents and even AI systems to disclose their location at the start of calls, analysts say American customers may increasingly favor U.S.-based providers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects 150,000 U.S. call center jobs could disappear by 2033 due to outsourcing and automation, intensifying political pressure to keep these jobs at home. For the Caribbean, the challenge now is to safeguard revenue streams by moving up the value chain, offering higher value digital services, expanding into non-US markets, and building resilience against policy shifts abroad. Universal Africa Lines UAL has introduced the UAL Caribbean Shuttle, a fixed 9-day loop service designed to strengthen trade connections between Point Lisas, Trinidad and Tobago, Georgetown, Guyana, and Paramaribo, Suriname. The service will be operated by the newly delivered MV-UAL Transporter, a landing craft vessel with a shallow 5-meter draft at maximum capacity. Purpose-built for regional conditions, the vessel can access both deep water terminals and river ports, overcoming draft restrictions that often prevent larger ships from entering Georgetown and Paramaribo. The shuttle will carry containers, roll-on, roll-off, and break bulk cargo, covering a wide mix of regional trade. With a scheduled 9-day rotation and the ability to load all cargo types, the UAL Caribbean Shuttle provides the consistency exporters and importers need, says UAL Project Manager. The service will be managed locally by UAL Trinidad, with support from the company's head office in the Netherlands. And as Guyana gears up for what could be one of its most closely watched elections in recent years, concerns about the integrity of the process are already coming into sharp focus. Just days before the wider electorate heads to the polls, questions are being raised about ballot security following revelations from last Friday's Disciplined Forces vote. It is alleged that at least one image purportedly of a ballot showing how a member of the Disciplined Services voted has surfaced on social media despite a strict ban on cell phones in polling stations. Speaking at a press conference on Monday, Chief Elections Officer for the Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, Vishnu Prasad, explained that polling officials have limited authority in these situations.
We do not have, and this needs to be noted carefully, we do not have authority to interfere with a person who may take the cell phone out and try. We will, be, as far as is practicable, apply the rules approved by the Commission. What we will do is make a note of any attempt to photograph the ballot and make a report to the police with reference to the provision that is there to safeguard the secrecy of the ballot.
Chief Elections Officer for the Guyana Elections Commission, Vishnu Prasad. Turning now to news from the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 20 securities, of which 7 advanced, 5 declined, and 8 traded firm. Today's winners are One Caribbean Media, CIBC Caribbean Bank, Trinidad and Tobago NGL, and National Flour Mills. While leading the losers are National Enterprises, Scotia, Trinidad and Tobago, Unilever Caribbean, and Point Lisas Industrial Port Development Corporation. Trading activity resulted in the following movements. The All TNT Index advanced by 0.86 points to close at 1,460.46. The Composite Index advanced by 4.58 points to close at 1,012.02. The Cross-Listed Index advanced by 1.20 points to close at 74.52. The SME Index remained at 96.40. And we take a short break, but please do stay with us. The international news segment is up next. Welcome back. In international news, EchoStar Corporation has agreed to sell spectrum licenses to AT&T Incorporated for about $23 billion in cash, a move aimed at keeping the company out of bankruptcy while addressing federal concerns over unused airwaves. The transaction announced Tuesday will expand AT&T's wireless capacity by adding roughly 50 megahertz of low and mid-band spectrum, strengthening its 5G network footprint. The deal is expected to close by mid-2026, subject to regulatory approval. According to reports, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has been pressing EchoStar to put its spectrum to use amid an ongoing investigation into whether the company was meeting license obligations. Financial stress also weighed heavily, with the satellite operator missing bond payments and weighing bankruptcy protection in recent months. The sale immediately boosted investor sentiment. EchoStar shares surged as much as 85% to a record high, while its bonds rallied across the board. Dish DBS bonds due 2029 jumped 12 cents to 83 cents on the dollar, making them the biggest gainers in the U.S. junk bond market. AT&T shares were largely unchanged, though trading in its bonds spiked to more than 10 times the daily average. From telecom to tech, Apple is also making headlines this week with its biggest launch of the year. Apple has confirmed its next major event for Tuesday, September 9 at the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino, where the company is widely expected to unveil the highly anticipated iPhone 17 lineup alongside several new products. This year's lineup is expected to include a base iPhone 17 and 2 Pro models. Reports suggest Apple could replace the Plus version with a slimmer iPhone 17 Air featuring a 5.5 millimeter profile and a 6.6-inch display, making it Apple's thinnest iPhone yet. The base model iPhone 17 is also rumored to bring a larger 6.3-inch screen and an upgraded 120 Hz refresh rate, doubling the smoothness of previous generations. Alongside the iPhone announcements, Apple is likely to refresh its wearable lineup with the Apple Watch Series 11, SE 3, and the high-end Ultra 3, which may come with a larger screen and faster charging. The company could also debut the long-awaited AirPods Pro 3, introducing a more compact design, a new chip for enhanced noise cancellation, and audio processing, and touch-sensitive controls. And while Apple's unveiling could set the tone for the tech industry this fall, another giant is looking to reshape how people learn languages. Google is rolling out a new AI-driven experimental feature in its Translate app, aimed at helping users practice and learn new languages. The tool offers tailored listening and speaking sessions that adapt to a learner's skill level and goals, directly positioning Google against popular apps like Duolingo. The new practice mode allows users to set goals and engage in exercises such as listening to conversations and tapping recognized words or practicing speech. Progress is tracked daily. The beta is also first for English speakers learning Spanish or French and for Spanish, French, and Portuguese speakers learning English on both Android and iOS. In addition, Translate is gaining enhanced live conversation capabilities in more than 70 languages, including Arabic, French, Hindi, Korean, Spanish, and Tamil. Using advanced speech recognition models, the app can translate spoken exchanges in real time, even in noisy settings like airports or restaurants. The new live translate feature is available starting this week in the US, India, and Mexico. Meanwhile, in global markets, investors are watching gold prices as political tensions raise fresh concerns over central bank independence. Gold prices rose Tuesday, edging closer to record highs after President Donald Trump sought to remove Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook late Monday over alleged mortgage fraud, a move that has rattled investors and renewed concerns about the central bank's independence. Cook, who has rejected calls to resign, remains in her post for now, but analysts warn that her potential removal could fuel deeper market volatility. On the commodities market, gold futures in New York rose 0.3% to around $3,430, about $100 shy of a record intraday highs. Spot gold climbed 0.4% to $3,380, its highest level since August 11. And that's it for the international segment of the newscast. The news recap is coming up on the other side of the break.
Hello everyone, I'm Kiran Maharaj of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, and I just want to wish CBX a very happy anniversary. Thank you CBX for keeping us informed, and may you continue to grow globally, making strides everywhere. Best wishes.
And now to recap our top stories. In the local news, JLP outlines bold blueprint for Jamaica's creative economy. Regionally, U.S. legislation threatens Caribbean call center jobs, and internationally, AT&T strikes $23 billion deal for EchoStar spectrum. Those were the stories making today's CBX Evening News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Rochelle Moncrief. Thanks for watching CBX, your region, your business, your source.
I'm Jillian Jackson. You're watching CBX, your region, your business, your source.